Hey everyone, Ryan Hunter here from the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, and this week for Movies We Love, I am doing my personal favorite, 1978's Dawn of the Dead, if you couldn't tell with the posters in the background. So while we got to speak of this, I also wanted to share some of the Dawn of the Dead things that I have. Now, this is not my full collection by any means, but I have a few special items that I just want to bring up now that I'm talking Dawn of the Dead. So when I graduated high school in 2004, my brother David and I, also heard on the show, took a trip to Monroeville, Pennsylvania, where the original Dawn of the Dead was filmed. So we speak about this in the episode, but one of the things that happened in the movie is our heroes go to a bank. Now that bank was still in the mall in 2004. I don't know if it is now. And in the episode, we do talk about how I kind of worked on getting a tile off the wall. Now, anyone who knows me and how shy I was, especially back then, would be shocked to find that I found the will to get this tile off the wall, because it's so weird over the years, and you'll see a picture here of what it looked like back in the day. People had already started taking the pieces. That's the only reason I got the idea to do this. Because this one was kind of just hanging off to begin with, but if you see in the picture, I'm standing next to this one, and there's a huge, like, missing section, and this kind of was just one of them, but I noticed now, taking it out all these years later, it's kind of getting these stains look on it. So, Monroeville Mall, allegedly, off the wall there in the bank. Other piece, now this doesn't have to do with the original Dawn of the Dead, but being that I was such a huge fan in junior high school of the original Dawn of the Dead, when 2004's Remake, a very popular year for Dawn of the Dead, when the remake came out in 2004, I was all about having my Dawn of the Dead experience. I didn't get to live through the original 1978 one, so when this one came out, I said, oh boy, I want to collect everything that could be Dawn of the Dead. At the time, I started with magazines, if there was an article about Dawn of the Dead at the time. I mean, if we can go back to the dates, so we have this Fangoria magazine from March of 2004. And we've got other ones, the Shiver magazine with Dawn of the Dead. So every time they mentioned that Dawn of the Dead would be in the magazine at the time, I tried to get it so I could have a collection of, you know, Dawn of the Dead news and stuff at the time, because I was also running a Dawn of the Dead website. Now, this was not a professional website by any means, but I would post news on this remake and the original one as well. So another thing that happened during the time of the remake was there was this site to promote the movie where you had to do challenges like create a banner for Dawn of the Dead and you got this amount of points, create a short story and submit it, make banners, do this, and you would accumulate points. They later did this also with Shaun of the Dead. I don't know if anyone remembers. And when you got points, you would be able to cash them in for Dawn of the Dead merchandise. So there was Dawn of the Dead stickers. Here we go. They had this Dawn of the Dead wristband. Again, I kept all of this in the original package because I'm thinking, you know, it's Dawn of the Dead. It's gonna be part of my collection. Let me preserve it. So these pens, these Dawn of the Dead pens, had a few of them actually. There's this Dawn of the Dead bat that I saved up for keychain. Some posters we have here that have seen some worse for wear. And then also when we went to see the Dawn of the Dead Mall, Monroeville, this was a paper that just had the name on it that we passed, and it was just sitting there, so. And the coolest part, I would have to say, of my collection, oh, we got some Dawn of the Dead buttons. Oh, here's a patch that I ordered years ago that I've done nothing with. Oh yeah, I bought this because this was a cool thing for back in the day. So, if anyone remembers, before the movie premiered, the Dawn of the Dead remake, they aired the first 10 minutes on, I believe, USA TNT. I recorded it on a VHS tape at the time, but then maybe a year or so after, I noticed this, or maybe it was the first 8 minutes, since this says the first 8 minutes. So this was just a little promotional thing that they came out with, and I thought, oh, this would be cool to have in the future. So just another little thing. Here we go, Dawn of the Dead, 1:10 p.m. Friday, 3/19 of 2004. So that was my ticket, and I saw this multiple times, so this is just one. Dawn of the Dead comics I have, but yes, so the coolest thing I have to say that's part of my Dawn of the Dead collection would be this paint can. Now, if you're looking at this paint can, it's very worse for wear. It's rusted. I've had this in a glass little container, but for the purpose of this video, I've taken it out. So this paint can, here's the certificate. Ooh. So I got this back in 2004 on eBay, and I remember that Universal, where the remake was made, was having like these sales back in the day, and they were like Dawn of the Dead merchandise and shirts and clothes were ending up on various places. But yeah, this is supposedly screen used when the group is in the mall and they're painting the roof signs like SOS or Alive in here. And I'd like to think that this is the paint can that Ving Rhames was holding at one point in the remake. It said screen used, so even if it was on the floor, it's just a part of history that I truly think is just a cool thing that I have and part of my Dawn of the Dead collection. So Dawn of the Dead has been a favorite of mine forever, and getting to share it on the podcast this week is such a blast. We get to relive more memories of the Dawn of the Dead Mall tour that we took back in 2004, David and I, and just we talk about how much we love this movie. Thank you again, everybody, for liking, subscribing, and listening to the podcast, however you do on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Anchor, Google, all of the above. Thank you so much. And we'll be seeing you with the all-new episode this Friday on Dawn of the Dead.